Hey guys, Pitmaster here. I'm here with Vato, and we're going to talk about Floyd and Conor coming up soon, like August something.
Couple of 3 weeks.
Was it August 26th?
6, I believe.
Something like that. August 26th.
Coming pretty close though.
They're fighting. This week, it's all about Jones and DC, but that's a whole different topic. Let's talk about Floyd and Conor. Huge fight. The UFC is helping, not the UFC, Zuffa, who used to be the UFC. They're helping promote it, and then so's Floyd's helping promote it. They're gonna make millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. Each fighter should make like $100 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a no lose. I mean, so like when people keep saying, "Do you think Conor can win?" He can't lose. He cannot lose. He's making close to $100 million. It's crazy. I mean, what is the downside to this fight? Do you see a downside?
No, both are getting paid. I mean, I think Conor's in a situation where he can't lose, even though if he loses the fight to Mayweather, one of the greatest of all time. But I think he's gonna win or lose. He's gonna come out on top.
Who, Conor?
Yeah.
I think if you think of Conor fighting Floyd Mayweather, and I don't know names, but you think of the best tennis player in the world playing the best ping pong player in the world at the ping pong player's rules. It's like tennis because you're hitting a ball back and forth, but it's tennis, not ping pong. So then the ping pong player, he's probably Chinese, challenges the tennis player. So the tennis player plays the ping pong player at the ping pong player's rules. And he's going to make $100 million. He's never played ping pong before. He might have hit a ball back and forth. He's a tennis player. McGregor has thrown a couple punches. He's an MMA fighter. But he's not a boxer. It's completely different. People say, well, he punches a lot. Punching in MMA is 100 times different than punching in boxing for a lot of reasons. Number one, the glove size. It's double, at least double what an MMA fighter is.
They're going on 10-ounce gloves.
They're going to fight with 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
So instead of 4-ounce, he's going up almost triple. That changes the punching incredibly. Number two, when Conor McGregor is punching, he's punching in the back of his mind, which changes the whole mechanics of the punch because he doesn't want to get knocked down and he doesn't want to get put into a clinch. When he's boxing, he doesn't have to worry about either because if they clinch, it gets broken up and he's not going to get taken down. So punching is completely different in MMA than it is in boxing. So just like the paddle is so different in ping pong than it is in tennis, and the ball is so different, and the court is so different, punching alone is the difference between night and day in MMA and boxing. It's that different. So
You got experience too in both.
So that has nothing to do with each other. Clinching, you can't clinch in boxing. They're going to break it up. In MMA, sometimes clinching is the whole game. Look at someone like Randy Couture.
Yeah. He used the clinch on top, dirty boxing against the fence, takedowns. So he's got a lot of weapons from there.
His clinch was everything. He wasn't a great striker. He didn't do a lot of double leg takedowns. He wasn't known for his submissions. His clinch game was probably 90% of his game.
Yeah.
So in MMA, you're going to fight those type of people all the time. But in boxing, it doesn't matter how the clinch goes, the referee will break them. He says break. In MMA, they're not going to say break unless there's absolutely no action. Opposite, right? In MMA, like I said, they're going to break it if there's not enough action. In boxing, they're going to break it if there's any action. So completely different. Completely different. There's no elbows, no knees, no kicks, no takedowns, no clinching, no trips. It's a ring instead of a cage. You know how different it is to lead? Could you imagine Muhammad Ali doing rope-a-dope against a cage? He would have been knocked out.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to lean back like you can when there's ropes. You can lean back out of the way of the punches.
Yeah.
There'll be no takedowns, etc. But the punches that are going to go to your face, you can lean back. If you try to lean back against a cage, your head is going nowhere. You'll get knocked out. If Ali did rope-a-dope on a cage against George Foreman, he would have been knocked out. So the cage and the ring make it completely different sports as well. I don't know. I see it as a no-lose for McGregor because he's going into a complete different sport, like tennis versus ping pong, and he's going to make $100 million. Then he's going to take that $100 million back into MMA or back into his life and say, I'll see you later, boxing. That was fun. Thanks for giving me $100 million so I could play your sport for the first time. It would be like tennis, ping pong. Or, I'll tell you another one. Boxing, going into rugby. Or forget rugby. Hockey. You're allowed to punch in hockey. So you could say punching's the same. So if a boxer went into a hockey match and they said, I'll give you $100 million to play in one hockey match.
Pick a fight.
You can fight, you can punch.
No, say pick a fight.
And that's all it would be.
Pick a fight, get a penalty.
And you get $100 million. There's no losing for Conor. On the other side of that, can Floyd lose?
Yeah, absolutely.
He can lose,
Yeah.
but he's making $100 million so he can laugh while he's losing or after he loses. But it means more to the sport. I think more than anything, the sport suffers a little. Not much, but just like when a boxer came into MMA, James Toney at the top of the heap of boxing, pretty much, against Randy Couture.
He got taken down and that was it. Choked out.
He got taken down, choked out in like 30 seconds. But to me, that was a black eye for MMA. Because to me, when somebody from a different sport, like when these wrestling guys come in and don't know anything about MMA and we build them up, and to me that makes our sport look cheaper. It would be like if a basketball player who never played football, they let him play in the Super Bowl as the starting quarterback. To me, that cheapens the sport. And football says, well, the NFL said, well, he's a big name in basketball, so we're going to let him start in this game as a quarterback. To me, that lessens football, but it doesn't lessen boxing. To me, this fight lessens boxing because they're letting someone from a different sport compete at their highest level. But to me, it only brings up MMA. What do you think about that?
I think so too. I think it's just a fight that all the fans want to see. Personally, if I had to pick between the two, I'd give it to Floyd because, I mean, although Conor's got some good power, good boxing, but I've never seen him in the ring, so I don't know how he's going to react inside the boxing ring against Floyd, that's all he's done his whole life. So, I mean, Conor has a chance. Everyone's saying he's going to clip him with the left, but it's 10-ounce gloves, and against Floyd, I mean, that's a tough challenge. So, I think I don't know. I'll give my edge to Floyd.
Okay.
For me, but
Yeah,
I want to see a good fight, but I don't know.
anything can happen.
Anything
If
can
that right hand lands, okay.
The left.
But I mean, like it could be a crazy ping pong hit, and the tennis player could be the ping pong player. But chances are, I think we both agree, Floyd is going to win this fight. Conor has a chance, just landing that punch. It's not a lucky punch, because Conor has thrown that left hand probably 250,000 times in his lifetime. So it's not luck. He's trained for it. But he's going into someone else's sport. I think Floyd Mayweather is going to get the fight, whether it's a late round TKO or a decision. But I think the whole world is going to win because everybody wants to see this fight. And Conor McGregor especially, because fighting somebody else's sport he's never even played before, and he's going to win $100 million. Just imagine whatever your profession is. If you're a UPS driver, okay? What if you're a UPS driver and McDonald's called you and said, I'm going to give you $100 million if you flip burgers for one shift, and then you can go back to UPS driving. That's what it's like, guys. And so everybody's going to come out a winner. We're all going to get to watch the fight. Connor's going to get $1 million. Floyd's going to get $1 million. It's a win-win-win-win. Thanks for coming, and thanks for being part of our Pit Ohana. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram, Pitmaster.
Pit_master. See you later.